Imagine living thousands of years ago. No villages, no walls, no leaders, just your group, maybe 20 or 30 people, surviving together. Now imagine someone in your group does something wrong, steals food, hurts someone, refuses to share. There are no police to call, no courts, no prisons. So what did ancient humans actually do? Most people think they lived in chaos, no rules. Everyone just did whatever they wanted. That's wrong. Every group had rules. Because when you only have 20 people, one bad person can get everyone killed. If someone hoards food during a famine, the whole group starves. If someone starts a fight and gets hurt, the group loses a hunter. So the group had to deal with bad behavior, and they did it in 3 ways. The first was shame, and ancient humans had many ways to shame someone. The simplest was the silent treatment. Everyone would just stop talking to them. No greetings, no eye contact, no responses, as if they didn't exist. But they went further. They would stop sharing food with the person. At the fire, no one would sit beside them. During group decisions, no one would ask their opinion. Some groups had an even more powerful method. When a hunter brought back food and acted too proud, the rest of the group would insult it. They would say the meat was too small, too thin, not worth eating, even if it was the biggest catch of the season. The group would tear it apart with words, not the meat, the hunter's pride. Because in the ancient world, being too proud was dangerous. A proud hunter could start thinking he was better than everyone, and that could destroy the group from the inside. So they cut arrogant people down before they could rise. And this worked. For most people, shame was enough. Because being rejected by your group in the wild meant one thing: you were on your way to being alone. And being alone meant you would die. But sometimes shame didn't work. Some people didn't care what the group thought. They took whatever they wanted. They scared the others into staying quiet. They were bigger, stronger, or just more violent. And the group had to go further. The second way was exile. And there were different ways to do it. Sometimes the group would gather and talk, everyone would have a say, and together they would decide the person had to leave. They would tell them directly, "You are no longer one of us. Go." Other times they didn't even give a warning. The group would simply pack up and move camp at night. When the person woke up, they were alone. No explanation, no goodbye. The group was just gone. In some groups, they used a gentler trick. They would send the person on a task. Go check the river. Go gather wood from the far trees. And by the time they returned, the camp had moved. Everyone was gone. However it happened, the result was the same. Being cast out of your group in the ancient world was almost a death sentence. No one to build shelter with, no one to hunt with, no one to watch your back while you slept, no one to care for you when you were sick or injured. The group didn't have to kill you themselves. They just had to stop protecting you. The wild would finish the rest. But exile had a problem. Sometimes the person came back, angry, more dangerous than before. Sometimes they found another group and returned with allies. Sometimes they were simply too violent to send away safely. They would hurt anyone who tried to make them leave. And the group had to make a choice: live with the danger, or end it. That was the third way, the last resort. When someone was too dangerous to keep and too dangerous to let go, the group ended the threat themselves. Not one person, never one person. Confronting a violent person alone was too risky, so they acted together. Sometimes they would wait until the person was asleep. Other times they would lure them away from camp. Come with us to hunt. Come check this trail with us. And far from everyone else, the group would act. In some accounts, the group used poison, a plant mixed into their food when they weren't watching. In others, they used arrows from a distance. Safer than getting close. It was quick, it was collective, and it was never done lightly. Because even when someone was dangerous, that person was still part of the group. Still someone they had eaten with, hunted with, lived beside. But in the wild, the group had to survive. And sometimes survival meant doing something that hurt everyone. So here's what dealing with crime actually looked like before civilization. First, the group shamed you. They mocked you, ignored you, stopped sharing with you, cut you down with words until you changed or broke. If that didn't work, they threw you out, told you to leave, or simply disappeared while you slept, sent you into the wild alone where you probably wouldn't survive. And if you were too dangerous to let go, they ended it. Together. Quickly. Because in the wild, there was no middle ground, no prison, no judge, no second chance. Just shame, exile or death. Because in the ancient world, the group had to survive. And sometimes survival meant doing things we can't imagine today. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for more, and tell me in the comments what we should explore next.